yesterday.
Oh my. Oh my.
You are now tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show.
Yo, what it is and what it do. You are officially tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM, KCAA in the Inland Empire, worldwide on the NBC Radio Network and on the iHeartRadio app. As always, I am your host, Jay Love, and I am always joined by the multi-talented, the gifted, the wonderfully brilliant, and the beautiful Miss Cherie Marlene.
Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday, right? Because I know you guys checking me on my day. It's Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday, yes. And Miss Melian.
Yes.
How you doing?
What's up? Happy Tuesday.
Absolutely. It is Tuesday, and it is the 23rd of March. It is the 23rd of March. We have a really cool guest on today, but I want to send a shout out before we get into some stuff. Just, the progressiveness of life, and even in my own life or whatever. I've shared that I am a recovering male chauvinist.
Oh gosh, where's this going?
This next thing I could have never imagined. I could have never imagined this growing up, but I want to send a shout out to my niece. Okay. This is my niece Bella.
Okay.
Bella plays defensive tackle on her high school football team. This is my niece
Yes,
Bella.
look at her.
Look at Bella, number
Bella.
66. Now, if you don't know what defensive tackle is, that's like she's down in the gutter, like grinding it out. So
Get it, Bella.
like I couldn't play defensive tackle. So shout out to Bella, man. Like
Is she the first school girl in the school?
I don't know if in her school, but she the first. I'm
She's
just gonna say
girl
yes.
in J-Lo's
In my
life.
family, she the
In
first
J-Lo's
girl in my life to play football. And so, my brother sent me that picture, and he sent me like some videos of her or whatever. And I'm just proud of her because of the fact that she, it's something she wanted to do, right? And she didn't let my brother or anyone tell her any differently.
Yes.
She's like, this is what I'm gonna do, and she went out and she made the team. Like, it's not like she just, they gave her some special position because she's a girl. Like, she made the team.
Hey, shout out to the school though for allowing her to play co-ed.
Yeah, because it's still Women's History Month, so I figured
right. I was thinking about that today. What happened to our shout outs for Black History Month? You make sure every single day we need a woman representation.
Well, I need y'all to help me step it. Y'all, but I'm working on it. But like I said, so my niece, I had to give her that shout out because I think it was the first. They played a game yesterday, and so so she was up in there. So shout out to Bella. Bella,
what grade is she, J-Lo?
I want to say sophomore. I'm so bad.
Okay, it's okay. So high school, got it.
Yeah, okay. I believe sophomore. And she's playing out of. Oh shoot! I hope that okay. I hope we're okay.
We were fine. What
okay.
What are you talking about?
So if you ever go to a football game in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, it's a suburb of Albuquerque. And yeah, shout out. Go. Here's what we used to do growing up. Because smaller markets like New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, like they really, really crazy about sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember I got this from a good friend of mine that I played ball with growing up. His mom was like that mom that was the loudest mom. She would, you knew when she was at the games. And so if you ever have kids that are playing sports, I encourage you to do this. What you do is you take an old milk jug, an empty milk jug, and put rocks in it. Put about 6 or 7 rocks in it. When you shake that thing, you can hear it all throughout the stadium, no matter what anyone else has. It's a super loud noise.
You said the milk carton?
Yeah, if you said a milk jug, the milk jug, the gallon jug, put some rocks in it. When you put the top on and shake it, man, that noise is loud.
Why am I not surprised that J-Love knows how to create obnoxious noises?
Yeah,
very loud.
Oh, you should see when I was coaching, because I coached for a while, right? Little league flag football. The parents would trip out because I'd be out there,
No surprise.
So, you don't even say it, especially when Baby A was playing. Oh man, if he ran a touchdown, I was running it with him like the whole way. was running with him. Like I would run on the field. They would yell at me, "Sir, you can't be on the field." Because I would literally run into the end zone, like pick him up and be like, "Baby!" And they're like, "Sir, you can't, you're not allowed to come." I'm like, "Hey, leave me alone. Baby ain't just scored. Don't you know what's happening?" So yeah.
That's
so.
Anyway,
shout out to Bella for playing defensive tackle and for doing her thing and for being a strong, independent young woman. She's very outspoken and she's very, so shout out to my niece for that. So that being said, kind of transitioning and honoring young people that are doing a thing. I had a young man reach out to me. He's 17 years old. And I was like, you know what? We have to have this dude on the show because I am so super impressed with him because not only is he a high school student, but he's an author. The dude has published, now it's about to be his second. I was talking to him earlier. It's about to be his second book. Second book at Barnes and Noble.
17-year-old.
Wait, he's still in high school and he's working on his second book.
Isn't that insane?
He finished it. He finished his second book.
Man, I was forging signs and letters when I was in high school, ditching school. And
yeah. So without further ado, I want to bring this young man because I was so impressed. I'm still so impressed with him. So, ladies and gentlemen, please show some love for Andres Leung. Oh man, Andres Leung.
Welcome.
What up?
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
So I got to ask you this, man. I'm going to jump right in and ask you. Okay, first of all, you're from Stockton, California, right?
Right.
Shout out your high school because people need to be jealous that they don't go to your school if they live in the Stockton area. What high school you go to?
I go to St. Mary's High School.
So, and what's the mascot?
Rams.
The Rams. The St. Marie Rams. Y'all should be very proud of this young man. He's making y'all look good. So when did you start writing?
I started writing back in 2019-ish, I believe so. Maybe like in July.
Okay.
And what motivated you? Like, what motivated you to want to write a book? Like, what drove you?
My uncle is actually a fallen Marine. So I first started writing. So I had a sadness all the time, right? I didn't know how to fix it. So my first poems I ever wrote were about dealing with that, coping with the sadness and how to overcome it. And I was super young back then. So
you're super young now.
Right, he was super young back then.
Back when I was really young.
Yeah. I love when my kids say that. I was such a little kid back then.
I remember.
No, but that's beautiful, man, that you found a coping mechanism in writing. Like
absolutely.
A lot of adults don't have coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. So because, dealing with grief and with all these different things that life will take you through, regardless of your age or life doesn't discriminate against anybody. And I think it's super powerful that you found a way very early in life to cope with the things that you're dealing with. So, how did you go from that into turning it into, I think I want to show this to other people.
So I wrote a lot. I had a binder. I still have it actually, but it was I had 50 poems in there probably at one time. And my mom's friend is an editor for a public, not a public, a public domain writing website. Okay. So she gave me her number and email, and I reached out to her and I was like, "Can I publish here? Because I think maybe your viewers would like it, or it'd be good for me too." So I got in contact with my mom's friend and I published with her about 7 times for free. It's called It's Express a Review. So that's why I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
very cool. Very cool. So what is this? What is the first book about? Because there's 2 of them, right? What was the first one?
The first one is titled "I Was Writing the Stars," and the basis on that one was more of dealing with teen emotions, because I know it's especially with social media and everything like that, it's super hard these days to cope with it. So I was just hoping to maybe help someone I know, someone random, that it's okay and you're not alone.
You are so impressive.
Yeah,
man.
So, and you told me that you finished your second book. When is that one coming out?
March 28th.
Congratulations.
That's Monday. Wow, dude, you are killing the game.
Yes.
And so
Wow. What's
both
the
of
time?
these.
What's the
Sorry.
Go ahead,
No, I
Milian.
was gonna say, what's the time frame? So when did you release the first one, and then
My
when did you
first one,
start writing the second one?
my first one was about 8 months ago, and I started working on the second one right away. Like right when I was done, I went straight to the second one, started writing more poems, and I'm actually working on like a novel, but I'm like not that far yet into that one.
Wow, this dude say he's working on a novel.
Woo!
And here's a crazy impressive part. So these are well, the first one is available, and the second one will be too as of Monday. Where? Tell us where it's available at. That's deep.
So they're both available as of right now on Barnes and Nobles. I am hoping to expand my horizon to Amazon and Audible in order to get like a further reach to people. But right now, I'm on Barnes
Hold
and
on,
Nobles.
man. Hold on, man. You said that like it's no big deal. My man is 17 years old and had about to have 2 books in Barnes and Noble. Come on, man. I gotta give
That's
you a big ups for
awesome.
that. Man, come on. I mean, definitely, yo, and we'll talk later. I can hook you up with the Amazon situation. I got you on that. But look,
Wait,
man,
how do you get your book in Barnes and Nobles?
Yeah. Tell the young
Well,
people. Tell us, everybody.
the way I did it is I started on this app. I think in the App Store it's called Wattpad. What I did is the first book I published it on there first actually, just to like get views and like see if people like it or not. And I got like a couple of thousand views and like it was like on the top charts for a while for poetry on the app.
wow.
So eventually I reached out to Barnes Nobles myself. I emailed them and I was
Of
like,
course you did.
hey, like, can I publish? Can I publish with you guys? And they emailed me back like all the information what I have to do in order to do it. So I filled out paperwork and they let me in as one of the. They call it, it's like a vendor or like it
Right.
basically means able to publish on there. So I got accepted into that and they let me just publish whatever I want now, basically anytime on
Dude,
there.
you gonna make me step
Whatever
my
you
life
want.
up.
Whatever
I
you
gotta
want.
step my life
I
up,
need to
y'all.
start
Yeah.
writing my book now.
I gotta
There's
go,
no
guys.
excuse.
I gotta go. I gotta release this.
Right?
Wait, Andreas, I want to know because I started off with poetry too when I was like 9 or 10, not a book or anything, but poetry. And then it kind of inspired me to want to be a rapper. Do you want to be a rapper?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, what's your rap name? But that's cool. So you said, but definitely a novel. You want to write a novel, and then do you want to dive into other types of writing?
Well, currently I'm working on like more of a. Actually, I'll just tell you, it's based in the 1920s. It's called Reality. The book is called Reality. It's about this orphan in the 1920s, like I said, but she's like a writer too. So like, what I plan to do is, she writes poems in the book, but the poems are mine, like the ones I wrote. So it's like,
Dude, I'm just gonna stop you, dude, because you making me feel bad about my life. I need to get my
That
life
is
together.
so
I need to
creative.
get my life together.
Genius.
This
Well,
is
what a great that is genius. What a great way to show your writing talent and also expose your poetry. That's amazing. Right? Like cuz it pulls the people in cuz they get emotionally attached
do
to
you
this
hear how this
character.
kid is talking? Do you hear how
Wow.
this kid is? And he's talking like it's
Awesome.
nothing. Like,
And
you
I
know,
started off writing poetry too, and you guys don't know
really,
this, but I have poems that are published when I was 15, but I stopped there. Imagine if I would have keep going. That is amazing.
Wow.
I'm just writing a novel, on Thursday, and I think, I'll write a
Barnes and
menu.
Noble.
Yeah,
Nothing
whatever. It's
crazy.
what I do on, random Thursdays because we're in quarantine school, so I have extra time, and since I have extra time with my life, I'm writing a script also about Queen Elizabeth. So, uh,
And for
Andreas,
those of you that don't know, Andres reached out to J Love because of the radio show. So he's just thrown himself out there in all areas, and that's super impressive. Like, do
right.
you all listeners and do we all ourselves see what happens when you just
Yeah.
put yourself out there?
You just put it
well,
out, reaching out, Barnes and
well,
Noble. So
look, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was gonna ask. I'm curious. What's your writing process like?
no, honestly, people are surprised. Like I can write a poem if I was like focused, like 10 minutes. Like I could write it right now if I really wanted to.
So you could write one right now,
I'm,
live on air.
I could if you want. Yeah.
Don't make this dude freestyle.
About the
But
revolution. Can you do one about the
hey,
revolution?
but can you spit a poem real quick? We'd definitely love to hear you. One of your poems.
One of your
Yeah. Okay.
poems.
Um, this one is titled "Forbidden Friends." How shall one decline while thy twine will still shine in glory. He holds a story of forbidden friends, while the gods still make ends, hoping friends will tend till the end.
Look at this dude. Look, if you want to check him out, please go on to Instagram. You can follow him. It's at Andres, that's ANDRES _poetry. The information is on there about how you could check out his books, Barnes and Noble, soon to be coming to Amazon and a bunch of other places. But this is an amazing young man. Again, that's Instagram at Andres _poetry. We definitely need to support. I'm a firm believer in supporting independent art in general, but supporting our young people, you know what I mean? Like, let's give them a reason to be excellent. You know what I'm saying? And really get behind this young man. I have no doubts. I was telling you earlier, but I have no doubt that someday we will be seeing you on a very, very major platform doing some major things. I look forward to your novel. Let me ask you this before we let you go. If you could give any advice to any young people out there listening that have a dream, whatever it is, whether it's poetry or singing or sports or whatever, what would you say to other young people listening to you?
Don't be afraid to reach out, because if you don't reach out, you'll never know. And when you're so young, like, what do you have to lose, really? Like,
boom.
you're learning.
I love that, man. I love it. Definitely, follow this young man's example. Reach out. There's, the worst anyone can tell you is no. You know what I mean? And that ain't nothing. That don't hurt. So keep it pushing, man. I'm so proud of you, dude.
Yeah.
I think you are so ridiculously amazing. Keep us posted, man. We definitely want to have you on again. Talking about your next book and talking about the novel and all that stuff. But thank you for coming on the show, ladies and I was gonna say ladies and Andreas, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please show some love to my man. Go follow him on Instagram, Andreas Leung. Thank you so much, man. We're gonna pay some bills.
Speaking of ladies, Andres, real quick, do you get a whole bunch of ladies trying, coming at you because you write poetry?
No.
Oh my God.
What's about it, really?
Huh?
Well,
What'd you say?
Okay, wait. I know we're live on air, but we need to quickly do this little boomerang because I need to post him on my Instagram. He's too inspiring, right? Real quick. Ready? Ready? Real quick. 1, 2, 3.
Boomerang.
Oh wait, I lied to you. It was on. That was my fail. My bad.
Okay.
Should we do it the other angle? Wait.
Which way?
Boomerang.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Boomerang.
Perfect. I got it.
Cool. So, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like I said, we look forward to having you again. And, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a little bit with the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM.
Exotics Wellness. From massage oils to bath bombs, from drops to pain bombs, everything you need in exotic CBD wellness. Go to www.queenexotics.com. That's www.queenexotics.com or Queen Exotics on Instagram.
Do you have a business that requires heavily upon your clientele base having access to cash, like a dispensary or a barbershop? Or maybe you're in the market for one of the new cutting-edge Bitcoin ATMs or self-serve kiosks. Whatever your ATM needs, reach out to my man Guy, the ATM Guy, at 855-4ATM-GUY. That's 855-4ATM-GUY or online at www.atmguy.net.
Without even lifting a finger, achieve the body of your dreams. You're perfect the way that you are, but if you've been struggling to tone up and love your body, there's something that can help you get there. Put down the box of chocolates and pick up a wrap. No, not that kind. A wrap that you can wear. That's a Gym in a Box. The Core Wrap, the best body shaper anywhere. It features ultimate performance technology, Tone Up 15 to firm tone and strengthen your abs as it shapes your waist. That's Gym in a Box. Go to gyminabox.la to get yours now. That's gyminabox.la because you deserve your dream body.
Hey, welcome back. If you just tuning in, this is the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM, KCAA in the Inland Empire, worldwide on the NBC Radio Network and on the iHeartRadio app. We just had a really amazing guest, my man Andreas Leung. 17 years old, has already authored 2 books, is working on a novel. I can't say how I am. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal what this young dude did. I mean, I'm still impressed. Like, I'm blown
Cherie,
away.
I don't know why you were getting on me because I'm curious nowadays if girls are interested in thing. That's
They will be.
back then it was a romantic thing. Like back then, guys did a lot of poems for girls and stuff. So I was just
They
wondering.
might
What
not
did it-
appreciate.
That was
What
his
did I
thing.
say?
Oh
What
my
did I
gosh,
say
he goes
about the
Melly
poetry?
on about the love thing. Yeah, when I asked him, does how's the girl thing with the poetry? Because some girls
Oh
are,
no,
I
I
don't know
just
this
feel
new
like
generation.
I-
Like they might
You
look
know
at
what?
your
If they don't
followers and I've
appreciate it
been
now, when
in-
he gets older, it'll be a thing. When he gets
Right.
older, it'll be a thing. You know what I
I
mean?
just meant it. No, I think it's beautiful. I just meant it more like leave it to Melian to jump in. That's exactly about the love thing. Leave it to her. We're on that love button with Melian.
Well, because for those of y'all, in case you weren't tuning in yesterday,
Yes.
we're going to talk about it every day. On April the 8th, that's a Thursday, we will be doing Win a Date with Melian. So
I was
any
gonna tell you guys
eligible,
maybe we can change the day. So because our Friday show, so we could yeah. So we'll talk about the exact date. So the next day we can kind of
now we changing the date. I already hit some dudes up. Like, folks is getting excited. You know what I
we
mean?
can
You
maybe
can't-
change. I'll tell you why on later. Yeah, for our Friday. Yeah.
But listen, either way, eligible young bachelors out there between the ages of 27 and 40 ish. We're gonna be having Win a Date with Melian. So that's coming up very soon. But in the news today, I know Cherie, you and I were talking, like, it is, I can't believe what is going on right now.
I know. So yeah, we all have to discuss what's going on in what happened in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that, Melian?
Yes, the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
So-
starting to lose track with all the killings and shootings and everything. Like it's so much
Yeah.
going on.
This is ridiculous. So for our listeners that don't know about it, do one of you guys want to give a breakdown of exactly what took place?
Yeah, basically, I woke up to the news this morning, that in Boulder, Colorado, there was a shooting and the reason I got the news because what hit me specifically is that he killed 10 people at a grocery store. But one of the people that he killed was an officer, one of the first officers on scene to respond.
Okay.
That officer graduated from the high school I graduated from. So,
Wow.
we have a class page right on Facebook, and it was the first thing that popped up. And I was just like, wait, what happened? What's going on? And so that immediately took me to the story. And I saw on every single news feed, they were talking about this. This gentleman walked in, they still haven't come up with the motive. I mean, I don't really care what his motive was or was not for him to go, and I think that here's the sad part. On one hand, here we go again, talking about gun reform. And I'm a gun guy. I love guns.
I was gonna say, are you guys against guns or having guns?
No, I'm a gun guy. I love guns. I think you should have the right to have guns. But at the same time, nobody needs a machine gun. Like, you don't need.
It was a machine gun?
Yeah, it was AR-15. And so you don't need an assault rifle to protect your home or to go hunting. Like, there's no hunters that need to hunt with an AR-15. Like, to protect your home, you don't need an AR. Matter of fact, an AR-15 isn't even really practical to protect your home. A shotgun is better, especially people hear that clack clack of the shotgun, that clack clack. That's a warning sign in and of itself. So, like I said, I'm a gun advocate. I love guns. I think guns are really cool. I think you should have the right to own guns. But at the same time, no one needs a machine gun. You know what I mean? No one needs an AR-15 or AK-47 or any other variation of a fully automatic machine gun. There's no.
What are they
need
going to
for
say?
it.
He's mentally ill or he had a bad day?
They already started with the mental illness. His brother said that he's been suffering from mental illness and depression, and he was bullied in school. So they already started with that narrative, right?
Okay, but that's so annoying because it doesn't bring back anybody's life, right? So, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, if somebody, let's say that he is mentally ill, like, what do you? So, go ahead.
Here's my
stay
problem.
your booty in the house. If you mentally ill, stay inside. Get help.
But here's the thing. Number one, you shouldn't have access to a machine gun.
Thank you.
That's number one.
Right.
Yes.
Number two, okay, I hate to break this news to millennials and Generation Z and whatever other generations that got a whole bunch of feelings, but here's the truth. People have been bullied all throughout history. and they didn't go on shooting rampages. Like bullies existed when I was in school. Bullies existed before me. Bullies are going to exist in the future. Like people will get, like, I don't like it. I think it's stupid, but you know what I mean? Like that excuse of I was bullied. So that because here's the crazy part. It's not like they go back and shoot the bullies. I would even understand it. And I know this is going to sound crazy. I would understand it if they went and shot the bullies.
You would understand it more so.
More
Not
so.
completely.
Thank you for
You're
correcting me. I appreciate that. But I'm just saying they go and shoot random people. It was people who had nothing to do with their quote unquote grievance in life of being bullied and misunderstood.
So do you think it's just that some people don't know how to cope, obviously, with their own trauma issues? And I mean, clearly he needed to talk to somebody to prevent this. Like, I think there's no excuse. There's none. Because to your point, I don't care who hurt me. Again, you might want to be after that person, but not being able to separate like that person to everyone else in the world. Like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, well, I think it's a sense of entitlement, number one, right? Because you're saying you're more important than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, it's honestly, there is a level of fame that comes with being a mass shooter.
You think that that's the motivation?
Not a full motivation, but partially. Like these mass shooters. I mean, for one, you know, and you know, y'all always know I go on my tangents or whatever. But let's be real. He was taken in to custody alive. He had a shootout. They knew he was armed and he had killed another officer and was able to come into custody alive. Meanwhile, Eric Garner was selling cigarettes outside of a liquor store and got choked to death. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Somebody still needs to explain to me how it works when you're a mass shooter and you always get arrested and go in relatively good health to jail.
They might go buy you a burger or something if you're hungry. Like,
yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like no one choked the hell out of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't do the thing where, you know, you shove the head into the car when they get into none of that. They, you know, so there is a level of notoriety that comes with being a mass shooter. You know what I mean? You become infamous, right? You're talked about. Like this dude will now be he's in the Hall of Fame of mass shooters, right? Because this is the second biggest shooting in Colorado history. So every year from now on for the rest of Colorado history, guess who they're going to talk about? They're going to talk about this guy because of what he did. And I'm not saying that was the total motivation, but to some degree.
But why? Like you feel like you weren't hugged enough as a child that
saying,
you need to be recognized?
Look at me, notice me, look at me. People will
you know what we should start doing is sharing the stories of the victims, sharing their lives. Like even for the ATL shooting, the spa, we were so focused on the shooter. Let's share the stories of the victims, you know, their aspirations, their kids, and I think we should start doing that, making them famous versus the killer.
I think that's a great idea. I think that, you know, because this, unfortunately, most people get so caught up in the why did he do it? What was it? You know, all those different things. Like I said, I don't care what his motivation was. It's like just because we find out whatever he says, is it going to matter?
No, it's not going to bring anybody's life back. No. How old was he? Do you know?
I was reading. I didn't pay attention.
20s, 30s, 40s. No.
He was in his 20s. He was in his 20s, and so
you look old.
Matter of fact, let me see if I pull up the story here real quick. But
how many people was it total?
10 people. And I mean,
just
there's
various ages.
Just various ages. They haven't released the identity, you know, because they have to contact next to kin and all that stuff. But could you imagine someone this morning got up and was like, "Oh, I need to go get some cereal or some bread or some," and that was it. They had no
all day
clue.
long.
They had no clue that, you know what I mean, that this was going to happen today. You know, it's just, you know, there's so much video footage as far as cell phone video footage out right now. People who were in the store, because, you know, obviously it takes you off guard. Like, wait, what's going on? You know, several people were reported saying that, at first, they thought with the first couple shots, like maybe, you know, how sometimes if you drop a glass, something, it's really loud.
Yeah.
Right? So they thought it was that. Yeah, they thought it was that. and they said that the shooting was coming in such rapid fire. Like this is that at one point they thought it was two shooters because it was that, you know what I mean? Like they thought it was because it was just such rapid shooting was going on. And you know, there's people that witnessed other people getting shot and had to just watch them die because they were either could not move, right, because they were hiding, or were just
traumatizing.
Just terrified. So like one young guy, I think he was like 22 years old, said it just keeps playing over and over in his head, right? So you know, like I said, I think that, you know, the conversation is being had. I know President Biden gave an address to the nation that we're, you know, here we are again talking about gun control. But the problem is that you have all these NRA purists and all of these fanatics who are like, no, we're not even saying all your guns, dude. We're just saying, can we get rid of assault rifles? Something. That's number one. Number two, can we get some better background checks? You know what I mean? Like, if you have anything in your history, can that be a red flag? Because like too many people are just getting access to like.
Wait, I thought it was kind of a hard process to get a gun, because I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to get a gun in the beginning of the pandemic, you know, especially you know, DJing, doing events and everything. I'm not scared to pop somebody in the foot or something, not try to kill them like that, but they don't play with me. But look,
maybe just
is it hard? What's the process like?
Not really. I mean, California is one of the harder states to get a gun in, but it's really it's
Nevada's super easy. All you have to do is take an all-day class. That's
California is a 10-day.
You have to live in Nevada, or like, can I go to Nevada to visit and get a gun thing and then bring the gun back to Cali?
Well, California just has their own laws. Technically, you could, but you still have to abide by California laws.
Yeah, there's lots of ways around, you know, but California is a 10-day waiting period. So, like, let's say you were to go today to buy a gun. You know, you would buy the gun, they hold it for 10 days, right, while they do a background check. It's a simple one though. It's called live scan. So like if you ever worked with kids or done anything, you've taken a live scan. And so after that, they release the gun to you, and now you're a gun owner. But California is one of the harder
like
states.
you had to have like somewhat proof that someone was like after you. You had to do all these things.
No, when you need the one that's a little bit more stricter is to conceal carry, right? If you want to carry in California. So that's a different license. But to actually own a gun, nah, you just use.
And
register.
here it's easy to carry. Like it's
easy because
like,
Nevada's open carry state, right? Nevada's open carry. So that's even different. That's where you can walk around with the gun. You know, when they be
like
walking around.
Showing.
Yeah. So Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, there's a lot of states, you know, where you could just walk around like this in the middle of the street.
Is this true that statistics show that actually that those states actually have less shootings and killings because everybody has guns?
Yeah. Well, yes. Because they know, because they know that it's more likely that you'll get stopped.
That you're gonna get shot at.
Yeah.
You get shot back at.
You know, so yes, but still at the end of the day, even most people who like open carry, they don't open carry AR-15s. Like, you know who open carries AR-15s? Crazy psycho fanatics. It's these militias, these white supremacist groups. Because that gun is like look, I got a machine gun. People who really like actual shooters, they carry handguns or maybe a shotgun, you know what I mean? But that's an intimidation piece is what an AR-15 is. It's an intimidation piece. Yeah. And so it's just like I said, but here's the sad part. The reason I'm not encouraged that will pass gun laws this time, right? Even though the president immediately went up and like, we need to address this, is because they didn't do anything when a bunch of kids were killed. Remember Sandy Hook? Like there was 3 or 4 schools in a row that got shot up. If people don't care about kids in a school, they ain't gonna care about people at a grocery store.
I felt like he just said that because he had to, right? Like if he didn't address it and come out and say it, then you're going to get backlash of that.
That and because Kamala Harris, one of her things when she was running real big on was gun control. Like she was real big on.
So is she against it?
Yeah, well, she wants gun control. In other words, she wants there to be more restrictions. And so there would have been a big riff but again, like every president pretty much has said, you know, but the truth is the NRA has so many lobbyists. They got so much money that they put into lobbyist pockets, and people that, like, again, if no one cares when a bunch of kids can get shot in the elementary school, people are going to boo-hoo about this for a couple of weeks, and then there'll be another news cycle. And it's sad to say that, you know what I mean? It's really sad to say that, but that's just, this is America. This is the fabric of America, right? And so people need to understand it. And look, here I go saying my outrageous things. You ready?
Oh, goodness.
For too long, this country has been run under the precipice of white supremacy. And what I mean by that is the NRA is mostly made up of older white men who, you know, the reason the Second Amendment exists was so that we wouldn't have a situation where like England would come and invade us, or the government would become tyrannical and we could rise up, you know what I mean, against a tyrannical I mean, that's not really the world that we live in anymore, right? And again, I believe in the Second Amendment. I think you should have the right to bear arms, but there is no reason for any, and you don't understand, like, I want an AR-15, but do I need one? Is there ever anything I'm going to need it for other than the zombie apocalypse? So short of the zombie apocalypse, am I ever going to need, I'm not going to Iraq anytime soon, right? I'm not going to Afghanistan. So if I'm not going to Iraq or Afghanistan, now my brother was a vet, you know, he is a combat Marine. He's, you know, he's been in several different combat zones. Cool. He needed the AR-15 and then some. Right. Me? If I'm being honest, not so much. It just looks cool.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the victims' families and everybody that lost, you know, somebody that last night, because that's totally heartbreaking. And also special shout out to the people that witnessed it, that are still living, that are now left with the trauma to get through.
Absolutely. And so, not to necessarily switch the news, but in other ridiculous news because of violence and stuff in this country, but kind of a good thing, right? I don't know if you guys were aware of, and I want to say her name correctly. And Melion, tell me if I said this name correctly. I think her name is Zhao Zhenqi. And she is the old woman who last week in San Francisco was attacked. But she fought back with a piece of wood.
Yes, I heard that.
She's a gangster.
Good for her. Yeah.
Do we have the clip up?
No, I should have got the clip. My bad. But here's the dope part about her. I even love her so much more now, because aside from because I thought it was gangster when she was going after the dude with the stick. Like, she still wanted to hit him. I was like, yo, that's dope. Like, that spirit is like that generation. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different spirit, right? Well, they had started a GoFundMe for her for medical expenses, right? Well, they had raised over $907,000. Okay. So, being the woman that she is, she told her family, no, I don't want a penny of that money. We're going to donate that money to the Asian American Pacific Islander community. So she's like, we're going to take that money and we're going to make a difference. So think about how dope that is that number one, she had the type of spirit that at her age, and they were saying she's 80. God, I don't want to get it correct. She's 80 something. I don't want to say.
So how much do you know about the AAPI committee? Because there were rumors, allegedly, that the Black Lives Matter, foundation weren't really distributing money towards,
I don't know. I really don't, because even like the whole, like the actual Black Lives Matter organization, like I'm not cool with them. Like they, but I know, and they still haven't said exactly where the money's going to be donated. It's just her wishes are,
that's amazing,
donate it to the community because we need to help, basically pay it forward. Right. She's like, we're one community. This shouldn't be for just me.
That's amazing.
And so I just think that that's amazing that she, especially in the selfish time that we live in, she could have, I don't know, set her grandkids up or something. But instead of doing that, she decided, no, we're going to do something really amazing,
I hope she gets blessed even more, like double, triple for that.
I think she
don't
will.
know.
I'm a firm believer that when you put stuff out there like that, it's, God don't let that go without, you know what I'm saying, doing something else for you. So, but also in the spirit of giving and not being appreciated for, for it. Or Cherie, I know you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, and it's actually about a GoFundMe as well. I just keep everywhere I turn on social media, I keep hearing and seeing talks about Kylie Jenner. Have you guys heard about that? The
I
story
try
with
to
her and the
ignore anything Kardashian adjacent with my life.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not even like it's 100% for or against her, whatever, live your life. But I guess something happened to one of her former makeup artists, and I don't even know exactly what happened to him, but she posted on her page a GoFundMe to help support, and it was at like 4,000 something, and she put 5,000 in. Okay, so now everybody's talking crap about her, saying she's worth so much, and she has the audacity to put up a GoFundMe page. Now, the frustrating part for me is I see that point, but when is enough enough? Like, how is she responsible for covering every single person she's associated with medical bills? What are your thoughts on that?
You want to say something, Melia? Because I definitely got something to say.
Well, yeah, I read that. Yeah, it was like at 6,000, and then she like put in 5,000 to kind of just exceed that. And you know, no, it's not her responsibility. That was dope for her to do that, and then like she has a platform, so she used her platform to help him and his family, and then and the finances. So I feel like people should leave her alone. Like she's once again though, it comes with the territory, right? It's part of it. You're gonna get
No, I
attacked.
get it.
You're a
I get
celebrity.
it. And you're right. But I think it's ridiculous that there's just this deep entitlement where people think that they owe. And the reason I say that is if you're the one doing the best in your family, let's just say, and you've hustled and you've worked your butt off. And I'm not even associating this with her hustle or her working her butt off. But the bottom line is she's a successful person, regardless of how she got there, regardless of how her family got there, right? So how is it the responsibility to now take on the burden of everyone? Like, why? What is this entitlement? Like, I've even seen a post that said they're trying to associate that with employers not taking care of their employees when she hasn't been associated with this person for years. Like, I'm so irked by this topic.
Well, here's the truth. You don't owe anyone anything. Period.
Right.
Like the notion that you have to, now it is good, it's a good practice to give to people and to try to help people out. It's a beautiful thing. But at the end of the day, you don't owe anyone anything. If you become successful, you don't owe it to your family. You don't owe it to the block. You don't owe it to the homies. You don't owe it to the day ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that entitlement kills me.
If you choose to, that is on you. And that's a beautiful thing if you choose to. But she or anyone else that's in a position, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, because you were there when I was 7 years old and, you know what I mean, you bought me a lollipop. Now
Exactly. You did my makeup one time or even for a year, and all of a sudden I owed like 60.
Which you probably got paid for, by the way.
Exactly.
Money, yeah.
And my thing is this, like, do people not get, if she wouldn't have posted it at all, she would have not been dealing with any of this. Like, if she wouldn't have put it, the GoFundMe, which by the way was beneficial to the family. It really was. Like, she donated. Had she not donated, if she just would have turned the cheek, she would now not be in the limelight in a negative way. How is that fair? That's the part that's annoying
with the territory. I know there's some things we can't pick and choose what we can, with the celebrity lifestyle.
But when you say it comes with the territory, I don't even agree with that. It comes with
because that also goes back to, we can
but what I mean by like it comes with the territory, like all these people attacking her, like hundreds and that, like, you know what I mean, like the social media, like she's such a big,
I want
like
the mindset to be checked. I could care less about the fans.
Well, see, and this goes into the whole cancel culture thing and the whole entitlement of people feeling that they can, dictate your life. I mean, the truth is, like, we say this all the time, but let's say, for example, Million, right? Let's say you have a cause that you want to stand up for and that offends somebody. Mm-hmm. Now, so they feel they have the right, because here's the beautiful, the good and the bad about the social media culture. The good is everybody has a voice. Like, wow, that's kind of a cool thing. The bad is everybody has a voice, like everybody, and they feel they have the right to go, you know what? you decided to give to, just to give an example, to the United Vietnamese College Fund. Well, why didn't you give to the United Chinese College Fund? The Chinese don't need colleges too. And then you forgot about the Mexicans. What about the Mexicans? The Mexicans can't go to college. And you're like, well, I'm Vietnamese. Can I give? It's my money. If I wanted to give it to the dude on the corner, I could give it to the dude on the corner, which is when I was talking about going back to, when I was saying about Britney Spears. If Britney Spears wants to be crazy and spend all of her money on little butterfly hair clips and strawberry lollipops, let her spend $50 million on butterfly hair clips and strawberry lollipops. It's her money. She done danced and did her thing for it. Nobody else did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
her
just feel
money.
like not even your own sibling is entitled to if you hit it big. If they want to help you, then that's okay, let alone a makeup artist or anyone else for that matter. So it's just annoying to me because I feel like her heart was in the right place and trying to do something good, but because it wasn't to the level of the world's judgment on the dollar amount, then all of a sudden she gets attacked and they're turning it into a million different memes. Now, to your point, Melian, yeah, that any type of backlash is going to come with fame. I just meant specifically on that topic, like how this world is so entitled. Like nothing is ever enough. You give an inch, they want a mile. And that is applied to every entitled mind. That drives me nuts.
Before, because our time goes by quick, I want to shout out someone who's giving back and it should be getting applause for giving back, and that's Mr. Justin Bieber. Even though, and I have to give, because I was a little bit, I don't know if you've heard Justin Bieber's new album, but shout out to Justin Bieber. The album is kind of fire. I was a little bit, had some funny feelings about it at first because he uses some audio clips of Martin Luther King, right? Some Martin Luther King speeches. And I was feeling a little kind of a way. I didn't know how to feel because it was like it would be this really dynamic speech from Martin Luther King about giving your life for the cause. And then he would correlate it. The next song would be like how in love he is with his wife, which was like, this dude really loves his wife. But the Martin Luther King quote. But when I found out he talked to the family, I mean, if the family ain't mad, then, what am I going to be mad about? Right. But having said that, shout out Justin Bieber. The album is fire. Today, Justin Bieber went to California State Prison and went in with a pastor to talk to the inmates. He's, spreading the word. So shout out to Biebs doing prison ministry. Yeah, doing prison ministry.
Very good.
I love his love for his wife. Like he's not, like he's not
when
shy
you hear
about
the
it.
album, when you hear the album, you're like, this dude loves his wife.
Loved her. Yeah,
I've
heard a couple tracks
feel it in
already.
the songs.
Right.
I feel like that is probably one of the most beautiful things to me, period, is a man loving his woman so much. Like that is like, what else is more beautiful than that outside of God's love? Like really, what is it?
Yeah, and he's demonstrating both. So, he's singing songs to his wife and he's going to, CDCR, which is, I believe, is in Chino, and doing prison ministry, which that's the most purest, dopest kind of ministry that you can do. So shout out Biebs for that. And then in other news, I gotta say this, shout out to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. After the fight that didn't get a lot of press because Nate Robinson got knocked out when he fought when Tyson fought Roy Jones, right? And Nate got, did I mention Nate got knocked?
They called it Nate.
Yeah, with Nate. So, but after that, they were like, yo, let's do a fight, because everybody's been wanting to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, right? The AKA Eargate, right? Mm-hmm. They want that. So it was, as of 3 days ago, it was off. They were like, no, the fight's off. Well, guess what? The fight is back on, ladies and gentlemen, for May 29th. So on May 29th, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield are getting it in the ring.
Is this the fight that he bit the ear?
Yes, that's that. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So wait, where is it going to be? Did they announce that?
I believe it's going to be in Vegas. So shout out to, because I think this one. Now, here's what I want to know. Who do you guys think? I mean, I'm a fight fan, so I don't know if you guys really care or not. But who do you guys think is going to come out on top of this fight?
I think it's going to be an eerie fight.
Oh, really? You're funny.
I heard. How old are they? How old are they?
Mike Tyson is 55, and Holyfield I think is like 57.
Oh man, I just hope
But
they
in
make it
fighting,
to a race.
Hilarious.
but
That's
in
hilarious.
no, but Mike looks good though. Mike
No,
looks. I mean, I haven't seen Evander lately, but Mike looks really good. But in fighting age, that's like 100 versus like
Right.
106.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
I
at
wanna
least
watch that. I wanna
it's
see
evenly
it.
matched though. Like it'd be two old dudes, you know, getting
Right.
it in. Like I want to see them go at like. I wonder because you know over the years since then they've become friends, right? They had some healing and
Which
some
is insane because would you like be able to squash beef with someone that took a piece of your meat out of your head? Like
you know
that's
what I mean? But that's beautiful, right? They've become friends. They're brothers. They love each other. So here's my thing, though. I wonder though if somewhere, like in the back of Evander Holyfield's mind, like
Gonna
back
bite
there
his
behind
ear.
his ear, yeah, back behind his ear, if there's a little bit left of like, okay, you know, we cool, but I still remember every time I do like this and scratch my,
he
you know, what I
twitches
mean?
every
Yeah.
time.
I just wonder if there's just, you know, because like, has there ever been someone in your life where like, you know, it was 100 years ago, but you
Yes.
over it, but there's just a
You
little,
forgive
Like,
them, but
you're
you
like-
don't forget.
No,
You
we're
forgive,
good.
but you don't forget. Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if there's just a tiny little bit of, ooh, I can't wait to just, I want to knock all your teeth out. Like I want to knock.
Who you got your
from
money
you.
on? Who you got your money on?
I'm gonna go with Tyson. How
about you, Cherie?
I don't know. I feel like this is like a revenge moment, even though they've made peace. So like would
Right,
he come back
Holyfield might come
vengeance?
with it.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. But I feel like I want to say Holyfield, I really do, but I do feel like it's gonna be Mike.
Yeah.
I just because I've seen Mike train lately, and again, I haven't seen any film on Holyfield. Yeah, I mean, who knows? He
might surprise us.
Yeah, but just because I've seen the tapes of Mike training makes me lean towards Mike and go. But I will say this: in his prime, right, in both of their primes, Holyfield was the one guy that legitimately gave Mike problems.
But he never beat him though, right?
Holyfield beat Mike.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Who won in that fight? Who won in that fight when he got his ear bit?
Holyfield. Yeah, that's why Mike was frustrated. He was because he couldn't like I said in their prime.
That's terrible.
Holyfield was the one guy that gave Mike problems.
So he took an ear out.
So
today's episode is really inspiring, just showing us that you don't have to be a certain age to be successful or doing what you love, right? Whether you're young or old. Like we had someone, shout out to Andrea, super young, and here's Mike Tyson and Holyfield. They're super not young, and and they're doing what they love, despite their age. That's super inspiring.
It also speaks volumes to reconciliation. I mean, that was really in the limelight. So kudos again to J Love's point that they were able to come together and then be in the ring again together.
Yeah, because even like we're literally like about 2 minutes out for this over. Start petitioning, y'all. Start petitioning for a longer show. But I don't know if you remember, but like a few years ago for the Super Bowl, they actually had a commercial where it was like a commercial where they made up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I love to see those stories where it was something where it was before his bad blood, and I just think it's beautiful. And so because it just reminds you that prayerfully, I have a friend of mine who always tells me time heals all wounds. You know what I mean? It might be a long time, and the wound, depending on the size of the wound, you know what I mean? But and he always says that every cloud has a silver lining. Now, the silver lining may be itty bitty, and the cloud might be humongous. But you have to look at it like that way. If not, you're doomed. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to an end. Make sure you tune in with us tomorrow. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. On behalf of my wonderful co-hosts, Miss Cherie Marlene and Miss Melion, we always want to remind you, reach for your best, reach for success. But most of all, reach for God, because God is love and love is everything. So with that being said, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. This is the Revolution Radio Show, y'all. The #1 new show on the planet, the most dangerous show on earth. Aha!
Oh my.